Hello and welcome to Just a Moment. My name is Kristen Harding. Welcome to the show. I like to start off with our little blessing cards, but first I just want to say hello to everyone who is joining me today. And if you're watching on the replay, that's totally okay. Thank you for watching. Most important thing is to get the message out, right? So, what are we doing today? We're going to talk about blessing cards, and we're going to talk about Elizabeth April's amazing book, You're Not Dying, You're Just Waking Up. Really, truly, that's the name of the book. And sometimes it really does feel like when we have a bad day or we get into a fight with somebody that we really care about, it feels like death. It feels like an ending. But afterwards, we realize that it was necessary and part of our journey. So, to those who are joining us, thank you again. Here we go. We're starting off with the Blessed Be series by Lucy Cavendish. And today, the first one, if I can get these cards to work and the book to work at the same time. A blessing on the senses that gift the world to you. A blessing to assist you in making the most of all of your senses and in appreciating them and thus enhancing their beauty within your life. May you be blessed with a keen, sensual appreciation of the natural world and all that it has gifted to you through the senses you have been so very blessed to receive. May your two eyes see far and take in the beauty of the world. May they open up days of joy and close on deeds well done. May the color and the shapes of the world be visions of delight to you, and may you find beauty in the pavement and in the tar, in the stone forests of the cities. May you be given mountains to gaze upon, seas of blue and azure to be reflected within your eyes, green fields and wildflowers to delight you with all the beauty that there is. May you find this beauty within your own form and gaze upon yourself with satisfaction and knowledge that the universe has created a unique moment of wonder within you. May your lips taste wild honey, your tongue find pleasures in the food on your table, and may the meals of your life be sensual delights, enriching the marvel that is your body, fueling you to greater good health. May the texture and delights and sensations of taste be taken slowly, without greed or hurry, and when you are satisfied, let you give thanks to the natural world for its offerings to you, the earth child. May your skin sense the world about you and within you, touching those with comfort, nurturing, soothing, and healing of human touch will be yours. Let all who touch you return that gift, and may the exquisite sensitivity of the body transport you, yet never devour you. May your ears be blessed with the sounds of all the wild world, the whisper of the trees speaking with each other, the bird song at each change of season, the sound of speech that is beautiful, truthful, and pleasing, the rich silence of nature that allows you to know yourself so deeply. Blessed be. And the second one that popped up, and I held it up to my husband and I said, this one's not fooling around. I'm just going to put this on there. Look at that. It is, wow, there are three ravens, and they are gathered around a lady warrior that has her face painted with woad, and she is wearing horns of power and carrying a sword. And it is a blessing to shield and safeguard you. A traditional protective blessing from the Carmina Gaelic, a collection of traditional Celtic blessings to entwine the forces of the ancient guardians with the needs of your day, bringing back to life the sacred ways so that your day returns to magic and takes on the shape of the divine. Shield and safeguard us, valiant Nuada of the White Sword, who subdued the Firbolg of blood. For the love of the tribe, for the pains of Danu's children, hold thy shield over us, protect us all. Hold thy shield over us, protect us all. Danu beloved, mother of the shining ones, shield, O shield us, lady of nobleness, and Bridget the beauteous, shepherds of the flocks, safeguard thou our animals, encircle us together, safeguard thou our animals, encircle us together. And Ellen, beneficent, benign, governess of the trackways of power, invoke the star of power upon the path. Guide well thou ourselves, shield our procession. Guide well thou ourselves, shield our procession. O Mother, O Maiden, O Crone of Wisdom, be the triad with us day and night. On the Mayhair plain or the mountain ridge, be the triad with us and her cloak around us. Be the triad with us and her cloak around us. Blessed be. Hi, Vinny. Hi, Paul. Benny loves, oh, I just need to say this. Benny invited me to be a part of Love First Productions. So that's why you'll see me on Benny's page and on our dear Tony's page, because we're all part of the same group. And there's a few more that join us now and again. So just wanted to give a shout out to Benny. Thank you so much. I really appreciate being on the platform with you. And I appreciate how hard you work for us and sharing this out, etc. So thanks. And Paul, you know how I feel about you. I couldn't do this without you. You are my rock. So let's get to the story. You're not dying. You're just waking up. Well, we left off kind of at the end of a chapter. So I'm just going to go through the last little bit where she was saying that since the inception of this universe, there has been a battle between both sides. One of the most important lessons the Source has set itself out to learn is the lesson of harmony. If it is able to harmonize duality, polarity, then it has ultimately completed the biggest lesson it set out to learn. Peace treaties. There have been many, and I mean many, peace treaties written by the GFL to help solve this issue of disharmony and disruption. In the GFL's eyes, it's totally okay. There needs to be lower vibrational beings in order to maintain the flow of the universe. But why can't we all just get along, live in peace and harmony without and within the polarity? Despite these multiple attempts to gather all the species together in the universe and create some sort of peace contract, there has always been a disruption or override of these contracts on the side of the lower vibrational beings. There is always one being who F's everything up for everyone. Ultimately, the greed of just being of just one being can break these written contracts. In their minds, they think, why help the collective when I could just help myself? I get it, but still. So, failed attempt after failed attempt, the GFL finally came up with the ultimate peace treaty, a hybrid species. If they were able to gather all the master geneticists in the universe and take some of the most powerful, higher vibrational beings and mix their DNA with the lowest vibrational beings, they might be able to solve this perpetual dispute. So the experiment of human beings commenced. The GFL was working away on the genetic combinations of DNA long before Earth was ever formed. In fact, the planet chosen was the last piece of the puzzle. They first had to prove this concept could actually work. Each species agreed to take part in this living, breathing, walking peace treaty. If this special species was able to get along, if they were able to love each other despite the mix of genetics, then it would prove that there could be sustainable peace within the universe, within all species. Although it was decided that after genetic manipulation there would be no interference between the original species and the new hybrid species, this wasn't as clear-cut as it should have been. The lower species argued that the higher species were helping the hybrids by giving them downloads and information. The higher species was able to do this because it was in accordance with the universal laws, specifically the law of non-intervention. The higher beings were able to get around this law by incarnating their soul onto this planet in order to assist creating what I refer to as starseeds. Information can also be transferred easily since we share their DNA. We just have to ask for it. Since incarnating, however, most of us have lost our knowledge before planet Earth, which makes it difficult to be here. The lower species took this as a sign that they too could interfere, and interfere they have. Once again, the battle of the entire universe was mirrored and brought right here to planet Earth. We human beings are the peace treaty. We are on the verge of expansion, and there is no longer anything the lower beings can do. Yes, they are pushing back, but they've already lost the battle. We are, as humans, waking up to our truth, to our power, to our purpose. We are remembering who we are. The biggest way the GFL can help humans without overriding the laws of the universe is to actually volunteer to incarnate here as humans themselves. Hence, all these incredible and powerful indigo, rainbow, and crystalline, etc. children are being born here. Well, what do you think? It's difficult for me to end such an intense chapter because I don't even know how to follow that information up. I just want to let you know, as I mentioned at the beginning of this book, the information I present is not just an interesting story, it is knowledge that will literally shift your DNA. Even if you still have massive resistance to this information, somewhere deep down within your soul, there is a resonance that will still shift you, regardless if you want to believe it or not. The shifting and the remembering of this information will lead you to unlock the amazing interdimensional DNA that you have. Upon unlocking this DNA, you will become aware and essentially experience the infinite vastness of the information within the universe. Although I won't be able to cover everything in this first book, there are just a few concepts I feel are important before we bring closure to this extravaganza of insight. On a personal note, after my cosmic disclosure at 18, everything changed for me. No longer was I asking questions about the nature of this reality. I wanted to know everything there was to know about the nature of the universe as a whole. Who are humans? How are we connected to aliens? Who are the aliens and why are they here at this time? So many questions and such little verifiable information out there. The only way I could navigate this huge quest in knowledge was to figure it out for myself, to have first-hand experience like I did with the abduction. The problem I have found in doing my exploration and experiential research is I can't recreate my experience for people. As much as I have taught and shared my insane stories, it will never compare to the actual feeling of being there or seeing it firsthand. Over the years, I have come to the conclusion that I am not here to tell people what is right or wrong, what is the truth versus illusion. My mission is simply to present my findings and allow people to discern for themselves what resonates. The beautiful thing about this approach is that it doesn't create a need for acceptance on my part. I know what I know because I've been there, and I can't expect anyone else to be there with me. I do still hold trust in the fact that many of us are interdimensional souls, here for a purpose, a reason, a mission. Many of us all had similar experiences. I hope that in reading my own experiences and stories, you have been able to connect the dots in your own life. Just by simply understanding that anything is possible, you actually begin to experience all that is out there in the universe. Oh my goodness, we're already on chapter 17. Wow. Oops, almost lost my page, but I didn't. Cosmic family and soul mission. Hey, Starseed, do you know why you are here on this planet at this time? Do you know what your mission is? Do you know the star family you are connected with? Well, not to worry. You surely do already know all those answers. Sometimes it takes a little nudge for your soul to recall those memories. I am hoping this chapter is the nudge that you've been waiting for. Before you progress, I just want to mention that no matter what that purpose is, you are enough. So many of us search for answers, hoping it will lead us to something more or grander than this present moment. But this information will only ever lead you back to the present moment. It will force you into acceptance of yourself, of all that is you. I am here to remind you that you need nothing more than this present moment. You are here for a reason, and you are special, regardless of the titles you may use or resonate with. I am so happy you are on this planet at this time. We need you, Starseed. It's time to remember. Hashtag Elizabeth April. So, you're starting to understand that there is so much, like so much out there to understand and access. That's amazing. Take a second to just appreciate how far you've come on this journey of expansion and awakening. You will now enter the phase of wanting to explore your cosmic self and cosmic connections. The first thing I want to mention about connecting with your cosmic self is no matter how much of an old soul or a young soul you feel you are, you have lived cosmic lives. I needed to put quotations around the old and young soul since I don't really believe that concept exists, since we do surpass the concept of time altogether. The reason I am so certain each of us has had a cosmic past and cosmic past lives is because at this point you wouldn't still be reading this book or have gotten to this section if you weren't a starseed. On top of that, the information that I have received from the Galactic Federation of Light has explained to me that the souls on this planet are considered master souls. The individuals who were chosen and who volunteered to be here because they are strong enough to handle the extreme polarity of light and dark. Trust me when I say that this is no easy planet to exist on. Deep down, we all look up into the sky, wondering why we feel so connected to the stars. The more we become aware and wake up to the fact that this isn't our only existence here in this body, the more we thirst for the truth about who we are. Benny says, I think Tony Wells' son is a starseed child. Oh yes, absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, I'm going to finish this and then I'm just going to say something that I found out that we can do, and it's pretty darn cool. So, where was I? It's time to remember. Light and dark. Trust me when I say it's no easy, okay? There we go. The more we thirst for the truth about who we are. Okay, so this is super cool and kind of strange at the same time. Throughout the years of channeling other people's cosmic connections, I have noticed that there is a direct correlation between who that person is as a human and who they have been before off this planet. The species that they have been most connected to, a lot of volunteer souls, let's try that again. A lot of volunteer souls, starseeds, are finally finishing up their mission on this planet. This information is just a validation for you if you haven't already received it. That's a good place to say validation. Okay, so I have long suspected that my part of my mission was to report back that I am a starseed, that I am a Lyran and Pleiadian starseed. So I went to my little old AI and asked an AI question, and I said, on a spiritual level, can I prove that I am a Lyran Pleiadian starseed? And then I gave, and here's the fun part, gave the exact date of my birth, place of my birth, and time of my birth. And the AI was able to confirm that yes, I was a Pleiadian starseed. That Alcyone, which I've always believed I'm from originally, was directly overhead at the time of my birth, as was a little bit over Vega from Lyra. So that absolutely proved it. And you can look it up yourself. Just ask for your starseed origin to your AI of choice and see what they say based on your birthday, your birth time, and your place of birth. So, too cool, huh? Again, human born, soul origin somewhere else. All right, we volunteered to be here. When I read someone's energy and they ask what their purpose here is on this planet, I usually get regressed to their very last life off this planet. Most of the time, that soul was working with the Galactic Federation of Light, helping planet Earth, or simply aiding in the progression of the collective universal consciousness. It was in that life where you chose to come to this planet for one mission or another. Sometimes I find a person physically looking like that cosmic incarnation, and other times that person has an extremely similar personality type to that last cosmic incarnation. Keep in mind that there are always exceptions to this information. Some of you may or may not resonate with this, and I don't have enough time to expand on all the variables. This is just a good overview. I am going to briefly go over the most common types of soul missions, as well as the most common types of interdimensional beings and their physical and personality traits. You may resonate with one, all, or none of this information. Please use your discernment and let go of any preconceived notions that you have. There's a lot of information out there. Only you have the ability to navigate and find what resonates most within you. Although these soul missions only scrape the surface of the variety of jobs we came here to do, you will instantly be reminded of friends and family members when you read through each description. See if you can fit yourself into one of these. It may just help you better understand who you are. Side note, even when you discover what species or planetary system you are connected to, it doesn't mean that this is now your new identity. Your identity is always just who you are in the present moment. Who you are in the present moment is an accumulation of everything you've been before up until now. If you cling onto another identity, whether it's interdimensional or terrestrial, you are continuing to limit yourself to your infinite potential. It's good to know, but your knowledge doesn't end there. Okay, it's a good overview. We volunteered to be here. Okay, there we go. The healer. The healer tends to be the one who sacrifices the most for society, always looking to give up their power in order to help and aid others. You don't actually have healing powers, although this mission type usually does, even if you're not fully aware of them yet. Healers, excuse me, healers can heal in all types of ways, emotionally, physically, with their words, but mostly their presence alone gives off the most profound healing. Healers are very compassionate and connected to all beings on this planet. Empathic to a fault, these people also usually have remedies for everything. They somehow just know what you need, whether it be a hug, a supplement, or a conversation. These individuals get sick often since they take on too much external energy and don't take care of themselves. Aurora, with or without actually doing anything in the healing field, these individuals emit their loving essence to everyone they encounter, and people always leave feeling better after the healer arrives into their life. If you are a healer who is not currently fully realized, you will struggle with your own self-worth, being able to receive, and will feel exhausted often. Just knowing who you are in this way will help you better navigate the frequencies coming at you. The more conscious you are of your giving, the better the boundaries you can create in your own life to help you. Besides, a healer can't fully step into their mission of healing others without being healed first. The grid worker. This is someone who does a lot, and I mean a lot, of grid work on the planet in the astral realm. Grid work involves opening and unlocking portals, vortexes, and ancient sites around the planet. It also involves a fair amount of astral traveling, which will in turn leave these people ungrounded and airy. These grid workers are also able to shut down military bases, 5G technology, and other nefarious activities happening in the astral realm around the planet. This also takes a certain amount of sacrifice, since they do a lot of work behind the scenes. These individuals usually get tired often, and they are very connected to Mother Gaia. These people are usually very connected to the justice of humanity, making sure everyone is treated fairly. If you are a grid worker, you will have an innate need to travel the world and visit ancient sites. I find a common trait of grid workers is that there tends to be physical limitations in their body. This could be through pain, disease, or other chronic conditions. The reason for this is because the physical limitation actually keeps them grounded enough to do the work that they need to do in the astral realm. The pillar. These are strong, stoic, and usually quiet individuals who are here to hold space for humanity. They have always been there have always been extreme polarities and crazy energies being tossed around on this planet. Pillars are extremely stable and tend to be human, and that they live simple lives and have no need to involve themselves in either end of the polarity. Pillars tend to be more masculine energy and don't usually allow things to affect them. They tend to be involved with partners who are doing a lot of ungrounded work, such as the healer and the grid worker. These two individuals work very well together. Pillars don't need to be awakened in order to do the work that they came here to do. Although they may be unaware, we need them now more than ever. The teacher. I would be a pretty good example of a teacher mission. These people are endlessly thirsty for information and tend to push what they learn on others. Sometimes, or all the time, these individuals can come across as know-it-alls, but that isn't their intention. They simply want to educate people. Teachers tend to have the ability to download and receive vast quantities of information and tend to be charismatic and approachable so that they can convey this information in a way that is comprehensible. Teachers come in all shapes and forms. They usually deposit themselves into positions all across society and not just in the realms of spirituality. These individuals can also be considered thought leaders and have seen a lot of persecution in the past for thinking outside of the box. They don't need to care about acceptance since their mission feels larger and conforming. The rebel. Watch out for these individuals. If you tell them not to push the red button, they absolutely will. These individuals have the important mission of pushing back against the normies within society. They are typically put into positions of influence before getting kicked out because of their rebellious spirit. They are usually the outcasts within society and have a very difficult time fitting in. They tend to get into drugs and even criminal activity if they forget their purpose. These individuals are important, however, and widely misunderstood. In past lives, the rebel has always led the charge on change and has gotten persecuted for it. I am so grateful for the ones who stand up and simply say no to the normies in society. We all know a change needs to happen, and it always starts with the rebel. The light warrior. These are undercover badass individuals. They are the warriors, soldiers, and fighters in the astral realm. They have a similar mission to those of grid workers since they do a lot of work. But behind the scenes, these individuals tend to suffer a lot from physical issues and limitations as well, so that their energetic body can be more present elsewhere, similar to that grid worker. They chose to be incarnated on this planet so that they can anchor in higher vibrational energies. Wow. Physical limitations lead to vibrational explorations. The easiest way interdimensional beings can assist planet Earth is by being incarnated here. I would call a lot of these individuals Earth angels, since their vibration is so high, yet they are still stuck in their human body, so they can do their astral work. It really is the ultimate sacrifice. Don't cry, Kristen. The light warriors literally involve themselves in the battle between light and dark in the astral realm. They help to balance the energies on this planet by doing so. Most of the time, light warriors have no idea what they are doing in other realms due to the violence they might be involved with. When in battle, this might be a good thing. Light warriors feel that they have a sense of purpose, but usually lack the full understanding of what that purpose is. They have a tendency to be exhausted often since they are active when they are asleep. Sometimes it can be hard for these individuals to remember their dreams since they are so active, and it's difficult for our human brains to comprehend what we do in other realms. Whew, the satellite. This is an interesting but oh so important mission. These individuals sign up to literally be a satellite device for the Galactic Federation and Universal Source Consciousness. Basically, their entire mission. Can't talk. Let's try it up here. There you go. Basically, their entire mission consists of sending and receiving information. A lot of the time, these individuals have no idea what they're doing. However, these individuals tend to be extremely keen observers, and just like the teacher, love hunting down information. These individuals also tend to be extremely clairsentient, having the ability to receive downloads of information. Unlike the teacher, however, these individuals are not required to say or do anything with this information. They are here to anchor that information from source into the consciousness grid around the earth. Likewise, through observing humanity, they are able to tap into the consciousness grid and send back information that the GFL and the universe need to better support and aid in the expansion of humanity. Your mission. Remember, this only covers the most common missions here on the planet. There are special cases out there of souls signing up for something unique and different altogether. Overall, as a starseed, a soul coming from another dimension, you will absolutely feel like you have a mission here. You will feel as if you were put here on this planet for a reason. Keep in mind, you don't need to know your mission in order to complete it. If it's imperative that you know, you will eventually find out one way or another. Maybe all you needed was to read this chapter to figure it out. You can also have multiple missions at the same time. Maybe you resonate with all of the above. That's totally okay. In past lives, I have tried out all of the missions I mentioned. In this life, I needed to try them all out once again in order to fully update myself into the teacher mission. This also doesn't mean that I can't go back to the others when it feels appropriate. We try out many hats while incarnated here. This gives us the tools and the skills to pull upon when faced with a situation we need to navigate. All the missions have an underlying trait of needing to assist and help humanity because we chose to volunteer here for a specific mission. We are definitely not on vacation. We are here to invoke unity consciousness and help humanity move away from polarity. When seeing all the missions and objectives above, which one feels most aligned to you? Types of hybrids. Did you know that we only use around 8% of our DNA? Scientists just term the other 90% as junk. Oh yeah, don't worry about that stuff. We don't need it. But what if we did need it? What if the DNA could help us regrow limbs or tap into other dimensions? From what I've channeled, we are all hybrids. And that junk DNA relates back to the missing link in our evolution. I believe this is directly related to the help that we receive from our cosmic brothers and sisters. There are many reasons behind this modification, which I will not go into here. It's just simply too much information. You can choose to accept or deny this missing link connection by accepting that we have DNA in us from other beings and dimensions. When we then start the process of unlocking and expanding that DNA. If you choose not to accept this, you can just keep on living your life and enjoying where you are. The choice is always up to you. Based on the different human history timelines, there are different genetic alien lineages to consider. For example, humans coming directly from ancient Atlantean lines are more likely to have greater amounts of Pleiadian DNA. Individuals coming from royal bloodlines are more likely to have reptilian DNA, and so on. This isn't a proven science by any means, so it can be difficult to navigate this information. Moving beyond the belief that we all already have alien DNA, there are even deeper hybridizations to consider. Not every starseed is connected to these other forms of hybridization, but I felt it necessary to state the extra differences that you might be experiencing. Physical hybrid. Like I mentioned above, we are all physical hybrids by default. Even the purely human souls have upgraded bodies based on our collective evolution. That being said, there are humans out there who have been given extra upgrades. I define a physical hybrid as someone who has had a physical intervention in this lifetime to enhance their DNA. A lot of these humans don't remember this intervention consciously. It either happened while they were in the womb or through abduction later on, where their memory is typically wiped for their own safety. If we remembered all of our abduction experiences, it could create trauma if we aren't ready to handle that information, even if the experience was a pleasant one. Common traits of physical hybrids. Physical abnormalities and differences. There are too many different and interesting ones to label, but here are a few. Double jointed, skin is thicker or thinner, teeth issues or differences, rare blood type, extreme height, organs in different places, rapid healing, weird allergies, for example, to metals or chemicals, and so on, naturally telepathic, 5 senses are heightened, sight, sound, taste, touch, and smells are intense, food sensitivity for no reason, physical capabilities are abnormal, extremes such as athletic, flexibility, balance, strength, and so on. A parallel hybrid. A parallel hybrid is someone who is working with their parallel cosmic selves while being a human on this planet. I consider myself one of these. Once I learned I was a tall, gray ambassador, I began bringing through that fractal of myself in order to work more efficiently as Elizabeth. The really weird thing about being a parallel hybrid is you don't need to connect with just one version of yourself. You can connect with multiple or infinite versions of yourself throughout space and time. So the version of me here as a gray is actually a past life. Time doesn't work the same way out there that it does here. The possibilities are truly endless. Many starseeds are in fact parallel hybrids because we often need to call upon assistance from higher realms. The easiest help to get is from yourself in different dimensions and timeline. Hira is helpful for me because he wrote the contract's blueprints for this lifetime as Elizabeth. So, although he is me in a past life, he knows all about me in the present and the struggles I deal with. Weird, huh? Oh my goodness, it's already at 50. Let's see if how much is left here. Okay, well, we'll finish this on the next show. So, that is all for now, my very dear friends. Thank you so much for joining me. Never forget that you are amazing. You are loved. Be well, be safe out there. And I'll see you on the next show. Protect your peace. Bye.